Guys, welcome to another YouTube video. So in this video I'll be giving one sentence review of all the movies I saw in 2024. Usually in the new year I always start off with a movie that I've already watched before and I know that I would like. So I started off with The Book of Life. It's an animated movie and I enjoyed this movie when I first saw it, even though I think the law of diminishing returns has started happening to this movie, because when I watched it I started asking myself, why did I love it so much? I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it as much as I did when I first saw it. And the next movie I watched is Adire. Adire is a Nigerian movie, and you know that thing where you watch a movie and you like it and then you now see a bad review and you're like, oh my gosh, I see what this person is saying, and then you now start asking yourself, is it that I don't have taste or what? But anyway, regardless of all the plot holes and the things that they didn't do very well that review highlighted, I still liked Adire. I found Adire to be a very cute love story. Next movie is The Proposal, and it's a rom-com movie. I've also watched it before and I really liked it. I liked Sandra Bullock's role in this movie. Like, you know, it's adopted this fake dating trope. Oh, imagine a boss is dating her assistant so that she can remain in the country, so that they won't deport her. So it was just very funny. I wish we got to meet the family and two of them were just, you know, doing all those their pretense. Because what made this fake dating even particularly more interesting is the fact that the assistant hated her guts. So it was just so interesting. Imagine you hate somebody's guts, but two of you are pretending to be in a relationship. And the guy in question, he just did it because he wanted to keep his job. So he hated her guts. He was doing it against his own will. Because usually when people are fake dating, the two of them are like, yes, in this movie they are in consent, but it's not like one person, if they give them knife, they are going to stab the person in the night. This one, it was just like that. It was just very funny and cute. Next movie I watched is Set It Up. It's a rom-com movie, but I didn't really like it, and I don't believe that you must date everybody. Like, I know it's a rom-com movie, but I just did not believe that those two characters should have ended up together. I just felt like they should have remained friends. The next movie I watched is The Brother's Son. I don't understand a thing I watched in this movie. Like, I just watched it for the plot, and the plot is so yeah. The next one is No Hard Feelings. I didn't like this one at all, but there are laugh out loud scenes in this movie, but I didn't like it. I don't like age gap romance at all, especially when the girl is the one that is older. It just feels very weird. And it's not as if maybe older by like 2 years or older by like 6 months, like older. It was just like child abuse. I don't like it. I don't like age gap romance in any shape or form, so yeah. Then I saw this series, Champion, and I'm just so sad that it's not going to be renewed. It was very interesting. Like, it's like Empire, even though I didn't see Empire, but I know Empire is like this big family that is all about music and all of that. So this is the way Champion is. I don't know why it wasn't renewed for a second season, because it even ended on a cliffhanger, but I really liked it. It was one of my favorite series I saw this year. Next movie I saw is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And I read the book before I saw this movie and I loved the book so much. I can't say the same for the movie. The movie is good, like really good, but I can't really say the same for the movie, the way I felt about the book, but it's also a good movie. The next one I saw is Tyler Perry's Mea Culpa. And I think one thing about Tyler Perry is that even if he produces a bad movie or a good movie, you must talk about it. And that's the same case with Mea Culpa. Mea Culpa was such a terrible movie. Like, it's my worst movie for 2024. The next one I saw is The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and that is an animated movie as well. I really liked this one. It had this end of the world kind of vibe, and I also liked the fact that one of the characters in the movie is a vlogger. So imagine vlogs, but in animation, like top notch. Next movie I saw is The After. So the major theme around this movie is grief, and it's a very short film. I'm not sure it's up to 15 minutes. Like, it's a very, very short film. And I can't say I liked it or hated it, because the theme was very strong and very heartbreaking and all of that. And I really want to give movies or books that have to deal with grief, like The Long Spoon. I really don't like, you know, watching or consuming things like that. So, but it's a good movie, but heads up. I saw Anikulapo, Rise of the Spectre. Yeah. So I saw the first installment of this movie and I really, really loved it. Then this second one is like a series. The first one was a full-length movie, but the second one is a series. I feel like the movie went on for like forever and it's unnecessarily long. And I got to the point where I started feeling pity for Saru and that his other babe that he did dirty. Like, I just felt like, can we just put an end to their suffering? Yes, they did bad. Please forgive them. Let's move on. Like, it was just a lot. Next one I saw is Mean Girls. I've always been seeing parts of this movie here and there, but I finally watched it from beginning to the end, and it is where most of the sounds you may be hearing on TikTok comes from. That's all I can say. And I really like it. It's a classic. So yeah. One movie that surprised me in 2024 is Damsel. So when I was going into the movie, I was going in expecting like a Bridgerton-like vibe, like love and all of that. And guess what? I'm seeing action. They married somebody, and then this person is thinking that, oh, we are going next to honeymoon. Nope, you're going as fodder or feed to a dragon. Yes. And that was so unhinged, and it was really, really interesting. I think everybody should go see this movie. Then the next one I saw is Afami Funa and Nwa Boy Story. This made me so proud to be an Igbo babe. I loved it from beginning to the end. I think I should go and rewatch it. It's really interesting. It takes you through the story of, you know, the whole philosophy around apprenticeship in Igbo land, and it's really insightful and very, very interesting. I feel like it also places the Igbos in a very good light. Like, it talks about our culture of hard work. Like, when it comes to hard work, you cannot take it away from an Igbo man. Then the next is Blood Vessel. This movie is so intense. Yeah, and it's based on a true life story. And I can't even believe that a human being can be so bloodthirsty. Up next is Skinny Girl in Transit Season 7. This is the most... Anyway, I blame myself for this particular one, because when all the adverts and hype around this was going on, I was just like, I'm not going to bother, because why? Like, I just did not see the need to continue with that series. And at the end of the day, because of FOMO, I decided to do it, and I was so upset with myself. I just hate this narrative that tries to portray or tries to force upon us to believe that all men cheat. Why can't Mide be the shining light to give us single ladies hope? Why must he have to cheat? Like, it was just so annoying to me. I just felt like maybe somebody should point me in the direction of the writer. I need to have a word with the person, because I was so angry at the end of the series. I know it's a movie. I know probably it's just all this thing is to drive sales and all of that, but I just don't really agree with it. And at the end of the day, I blame myself, because if I had listened to myself and not watched this series, would I be left with this anger at the pit of my belly? No, I wouldn't have been left with it. But I said I must watch it. Now see my life. The next one is Frozen. Frozen is an animated movie again. You can tell that I love animation. And this one is also a musical. It has songs in it, and a must watch for everyone. Very excited to talk about the next movie. It's The Color Purple, and it's my favorite movie of 2024. I also talked about it in my video on all my favorite things from 2024. The next one is Mean Girls again, but the musical. It's like all these movies that, you know, is a classic, and then they decide to make a more modern version. So that's what Mean Girls the musical was trying to do. It's not as terrible as people make it out to be, but it's also not that great. So yeah, it's just there. It's so. Then I saw my only Korean series from 2024, Alchemy of Souls. So I saw the first part in 2023. Then when I wanted to continue with it in 2023, I was struggling because they changed one of the characters. So when I watched the first part, I really struggled because I was mixing up all the characters. Then when I finally got the hang of it, I now moved to part 2, and I got confused all over again because they switched out the characters. I no longer understood the story. It just felt as if I was watching a whole different movie. But I started it again in 2024, and it's really an addictive show. Like, I get why people like Korean movies, because it's kind of addictive. And when I watched this in 2024, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, once you get the hang of it, you will just be hooked. So I really liked it. The next one is Never Have I Ever Season 4. I watched this with my sister, and I like the series, but I think my major problem is that I didn't want her to end up with Ben Gross. Like, no offense to Ben Gross, and no offense to those that really liked their relationship, but for some reason I just did not want them to end up together. And that's the problem I have with romance movies. If I'm not feeling the guy or I'm not feeling the girl, no matter how earth-shattering their love is, I will just struggle to connect. So I feel like they make better friends, but dating, I just found it very weird. Then up next is Baby Reindeer. In fact, I stayed up all night to watch this particular series. I think this is one of my favorite movies, but it feels weird to call it a favorite movie, like to call somebody's scary experience your form of entertainment. Like, yes, I'm sure they created it for our entertainment, but I don't know, it just feels wrong to say it's your favorite movie, because this movie is about a guy's experience with a stalker. Imagine, I started watching this movie, I think by 12 midnight or something like that, and my eyes was like this. I could not close it. I was saying, okay, you have work tomorrow, close this phone and I'm gonna sleep. I could not. It was just like, I don't know if other people had that experience when they were watching it. I just could not stop until I saw the end. It was so, when I'm saying unhinged, this one is like totally out of this world. And it is even crazier because the person that had the experience is making it into a movie. Like, what level of, I don't know what level of boldness you can have, for lack of a better word, to create something out of your traumatic experience. Like, it was so unreal. Yeah. One is Breath of Life. I talked about it in my video on all my favorite things from 2024. The next one is A Tribe Called Judah. This was also an interesting movie. From Akindele obviously is the GOAT. Yeah, it's an amazing movie. I saw Tarzan. Tarzan is also an animated movie, and it has this song that I really like, Son of Man by Phil. I think I'll put the picture of the song. I like Tarzan, and it reminds me of my childhood, so it's like an all-time favorite. Then I also watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame, another childhood favorite. Then the next one I saw is Challengers. I am one of the 1% that didn't like this movie. Like, it wasn't for me. I didn't really like it. Like, I don't know, I see a lot of reviews. I've seen a lot of all my favorite movies of last year, and everybody lists Challengers as part of their favorite movie. I love Zendaya, but Challengers, I didn't like it. Then the one I really liked is Nayad, or NYAD. Yeah, so it's about this woman that wanted to swim from one particular place to another, and it was like a very challenging feat that she wanted to accomplish, and she had failed many times, and people were even trying to discourage her that she should give it a rest. Me personally, I don't see like what benefits that task she wanted to accomplish was to the world, but I really liked it. And there's this particular quote that I really liked it. Okay, before I talk about the quote, I really liked it because I always like all these motivational movies that, you know, talk about having a vision and then following through with it, and, you know, being the better for it. So that was why I really liked the movie. I liked her tenacity. Even when people were telling her that she should give it a rest, she was really, really tenacious in pursuing her vision and her dream. Then one major quote that she was quoting in the movie was a quote by Mary Oliver. It was, "What would you do with your one big beautiful life?" I'll put the quote. I'm not sure I quoted it very well, but that quote is, in fact, I've written it down somewhere, like something that will guide me in whatever endeavor that I choose to invest all my strength and energy into. So yes, I really like motivational movies. All those Aspire to Aspire, I really like them. Okay, so the next one is King Richard, and it's about Serena Williams and her sister, and, you know, their family, her dad in particular. I feel like it's more of a celebration of her dad than her career. So it's a good movie. I love it. I feel like it's more of a documentary than like a movie. So I liked it. The father was really irritating, like he was really getting on my nerves with some of the decisions that he was making. But overall, I feel like I preferred it to Challengers. They are not the same, they're in different leagues, but it's all about tennis, right? So I preferred King Richard to the Challengers. Then the next one is The Idea of You. I didn't like this one. Yes, Annie Hathaway is not aging, like she's literally aging backwards, but that was all that I was just admiring in the movie. I think she was the plot for me in this movie. But besides that, I didn't like it because, like I mentioned, I don't really like age gap romance. Like, it just has this way of giving off pedophile vibes. Like, I just don't like it. I just feel like you should marry somebody that is your friend, and I'm just like, if you're married to somebody that is or you're dating somebody that is way older than you, like, I'm just trying to understand what the communication is, because you people are in different generations. So I'm just trying to understand what the communication is going to be like. Just imagine a millennial is getting married to Gen Alpha, even though it feels impossible because Gen Alpha is just this year. It's going to be so creepy and so crazy. So something like that, I'm just like wondering, what's the communication going to be like? Like, it just worlds apart, and it just feels very, very weird and strange to me. So the next one is Under Paris. I am indifferent to this movie, but there's a particular scene that I like that I want to highlight in this movie, and there's this environmentalist in this movie that was all about, let's save the sharks, this, that, and that, and people are telling this babe, calm down, these sharks, they're not good for us. See, they've killed somebody, and if you allow them, they will multiply, they would be just so terrible. And she was like, no, that we must save the sharks. And guess who was eaten by the sharks? I really enjoyed that scene. Yes, I did. So yeah, that's the movie Under Paris. Was an interesting documentary. So I saw somebody that gave me a write-up that said that if we don't take better care of our planet, that it will be taken over by sharks. So yeah, so we should take better care of the planet. Then the next one is the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Abby? Yeah, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and I liked it. It reminded me of my childhood because I used to play these Super Mario games. So yeah, really nice one. The next one is One Too Many. Have I talked about, what's the name of this guy that I liked from Breath of Life? So yes, Chimezie Imo featured in this movie, and Dakore Ebusin. these are phenomenal actors, and like I mentioned in that my video on all my favorite things from 2024, Chimezie Imo is someone to watch out for, and I really hope that this year is his year, like that he features in a lot more movies this year. Like, he is such a phenomenal actor, and I look forward to seeing more of his movies. Then the next one I saw is A Family Affair with Zac Efron and this babe from A Kissing Booth. Well, I found it cute. Like, there's this particular scene where that babe from A Kissing Booth caught the mom and Zac Efron together, and the way she nearly went blind because it was so crazy. It's also an age gap romance. I didn't really like it, but I don't know. I just found it to be a funny story. Not like a cute but I just found it funny. So then next one is Oloture the Journey. Like I said in the first installment, I didn't have any sympathy for Oloture. Like, what she was doing is a noble venture, but at the same time I'm just like, I feel like there's a lot more wisdom that comes with trying to do what she was trying to do in that movie, and she seems to lack that. And you also need a certain level of resources to be able to do what she wanted to do, which so far does not seem to be working out fine. I really don't get the essence of this particular series because it was just 3 episodes and it just ended just like that. And I was just like, I don't understand what the purpose of this movie is. Then the next one is Supercell. Supercell was an interesting series that came out last year. Like, a lot of people were talking about it, especially about the girlfriend that does not used to hear word. But it was an interesting one, and I really cannot wait for the next season to come out. Then the next one I liked is Maid. I also like all these grass to grace stories. Like Maid, the main character in this movie came from a very dysfunctional marriage, and she was just moving from one place to another. But I liked that she eventually fixed up and things started looking brighter for her. So I really like that. Then for another rapid fire kind of review for the next couple of movies that I'll talk about is Turning Red, Onward, Luca. Didn't like any of these movies. They are all animated, but I didn't like them. Then Soul, I talked about it in all my favorite things from 2024. Such a beautiful movie. Also saw Elemental, did not like it. Then I finally finished Young Sheldon, the entire season from season 1 to 7, and it is an amazing series. I really liked it. It's by the end of the series, like, my heart was broken into pieces. The way I was just shedding tears like a baby. I really liked Young Sheldon. I haven't seen Big Bang Theory, but I have started, and people keep saying that the proper order is to watch Big Bang Theory before watching Young Sheldon. And some people say Big Bang Theory is better than Young Sheldon. But to me, even though I've not seen Big Bang Theory, but from the little I've seen, I prefer Young Sheldon. Like, Young Sheldon is top notch, and I don't care what any other person thinks or says. Then I saw this documentary, Simone Biles Rising. Another Aspire to Perspire. I just like watching things like that because I feel like sometimes we need a little encouragement. And when you see other successful people talking about all the challenges they faced on their road to success, it's really motivating. So that's why I watched it. Then I liked The Other Woman. So The Other Woman is about, some group of women that a particular man was cheating on. So the wife discovered that the husband was cheating on her with a lady, Cameron Diaz. So she befriended her, and two of them decided that they are going to deal with the man. Then while they were still plotting against the man, they found out that he was even cheating on the two of them with another girl. So they brought her into their little group and they messed up the man. So it was interesting to watch. It was interesting to watch. Then I saw Stepmom. I can't believe I've not heard about or seen this. Okay, I think I heard about it on TikTok. Someone was sharing a snippet of it on TikTok. So I was like, wow, this is such an interesting movie. So I went ahead to watch it. I really liked it. Then I watched When Harry Met Sally. I like, it's an interesting think piece on relationships and all of that. I liked it, even though I didn't find Harry particularly likable as a character, but I liked the movie. And it feels like an all-season kind of movie. You can watch it in Christmas time, and for those that have 4 seasons, you can watch it even in autumn, summer, winter, and all of that. So it's an interesting movie. Then the next one is Divorce in Black. This is another Tyler Perry movie, and it was the most craziest movie. I can't believe I'm using so many superlatives, but yes, that is how I can explain this movie. Like, mind-blowingly crazy. So there is this man. He was very, very terrible to his wife, and then eventually his terribleness, he decided that he wanted a divorce, and the woman said, okay, thank God, I'm free. So she now she gave him the divorce and everything, and she left. She did mourn him a bit, and then she moved on with her life. And when the man saw that, oh, this babe, she's not pining over me, he now came back and said that he wants to take her back. Can you imagine that? He was just, in fact, I don't know if there are people like this that exist on this God's green earth, because, like, it was so crazy. Then the next one I want to talk about, I just watched it for the plot, and we all know what the plot is when I mentioned the name of this movie. Rebel Ridge. Yay! So yes, I watched Rebel Ridge for the plot, and the next one I watched is The Uglies. I find that movie the most stupid movie that I've seen in 2024. It did not have any head, it did not have any tail, like very silly movie. Next one I saw is Geek Girl. I feel like if I watched this when I was a teenager, I would have appreciated it more. But it's a good movie, and yeah. Then the next one I saw is The White Lotus season 1, and I've seen a lot of intellectual commentary on what the movie is all about, and I really admire people who are able to draw meaningful insights from a movie, and yeah, I really appreciate them. So I did watch it just for my entertainment, and I was also trying to get book recommendations because some of the characters were readers, so I wanted to get book recommendations. So yeah, I liked The White Lotus, but it's not like your typical form of entertainment. I think I was just watching it for research purposes, like I mentioned. I was looking for book recommendations. So the next one is Hijack 93. So it's a Nigerian movie, but I just feel like there was something missing about the movie. Like it was also a form of like hostage kind of movie, and it didn't make my blood boil, it didn't make my heart race, it didn't make me have any feelings or connection with any of those characters, because yes, the people who staged the hijack, they had stories that made them or drove them, traumatic experiences, sad stories that drove them to do what they did, which was supposed to elicit some form of sympathy towards them. But I just did not have any connection with the movie. I just felt like there was something missing about this story that made it not to be that enjoyable and engaging. Then the next one I saw is Queen Latifah. Is also a Yoruba movie. Yeah, it's a Yoruba movie, and it was really an interesting love story. Though sometimes I don't like all these stories where someone starts off with fake life and then somebody falls in love with them based on their fake life, and then there's this big reveal, and then they now forgive them, and then they live happily ever after the end. I don't really like all those kind of stories, but this one felt cute. So yeah. Then the next one I liked. I really liked it. I wish it's going to win an award or something because it was really top notch, especially Hilda Dokubo's performance in that movie. And the movie I'm talking about is The Uprising, Wives on Strike. So I watched the first part of this movie, but I think there's a second part before this one that I'm talking about. And I was just like, churning out the same stories that is maybe different plots but still the same theme. I was not really sold on it. And then when the movie was being promoted and they were saying this is the best movie you ever watched, I was just like, but when I went to the cinema to see it, oh my god, we have actors in Nigeria. Yeah, we do. We may not rate them, but we actually do. We have like real powerful, phenomenal actors. Like when I saw Hilda's performance in that movie, like it's a movie that I would like to see again. They did not lie. That movie is the best thing you would see, and I really liked it. Then the next one I saw is Hot Frosty. By now you can tell that we're already in December period when with these movies. These are the ones I saw in December. So I saw Hot Frosty. It was okay. Then I saw Meet Me Next Christmas. I think this was the best Christmas movie for 2024. Like the best Christmas movie that was released in 2024. Meet Me Next Christmas. Then I saw The Princess Switch 1, 2, 3. They should have stopped at 1, but they felt they need to do 2 and they felt they need to do 3. We will not hate on this channel. Moving on, I saw this South African movie, Omjolo, the Gone Girl. I don't know if I'm getting that Omjolo pronunciation correct, but the Gone Girl. And my joy and happiness for this movie is that she eventually got her senses and did the right thing, because I feel like there's a level of disrespect you can have for yourself that makes you accept some certain things. Like there's a way you will not rate yourself, and there are some things you will just be accepting. But I'm glad she came around. Then I saw Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. So that's to show you that no matter what Tyler Perry produces, we'll still be curious. I will still want to watch it and see what he's up to. So Beauty in Black wasn't really that interesting to me. I feel like there was a lot going on in that story, and it was just unnecessarily long. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to season 2 and can't wait for that to come out very soon. Then the next one I saw is Joy, the Birth of IVF. So this movie is about the history of IVF. I didn't even know that the first person that was giving birth to via IVF is still alive. I didn't know that. In fact, I didn't know it's like a very fairly recent stuff. Like it's an educational movie, a historical movie, and I also like it because it also has this vibe of motivation. All the speed bumps, will I say, or hurdles to success, like all the challenges that the people that eventually came about IVF faced before the whole issue of IVF was bettered. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I really liked that. Then I watched Red Sparrow. I don't understand anything that happened in this movie, but I watched this for the plot. So yeah. Then I saw Wicked. I'm also among one of the 1% that didn't really like this movie. And even in the cinema that I was in, many people were not awing over it. So I really didn't understand the tears in all the promotional videos that I saw. I really wish I would understand what people liked about the movie. Some of the songs were interesting, like the one on Popular. I really liked it. Even Defying Gravity was really nice. But I still feel to this day that I did not watch what everybody watched. So I loved Mamma Mia. I mentioned it in my video of all the favorite things I loved from, what am I saying? My favorite things from 2024. Yeah. So Mamma Mia. Then I watched Everybody Loves Jennifer. Really liked it. It was funny. I feel like Lai Wasabi was the one who carried that movie on his back. It was really interesting and really funny. And someone was trying to do a comparison between Everybody Loves Jennifer. I always mix it up with Everybody Hates Chris. So people are trying to compare it with The Tribe Called Judah. I feel like we shouldn't be comparing body of work or arts, but I think I liked this Everybody Loves Jennifer more than A Tribe Called Judah for some reason. Yeah. Then the next movie is Seven Doors, another serious Yoruba movie. So Seven Doors, you know all those movies that when you finish watching it, you would go to Reddit to read, like to give you further insight. So when I finished watching Seven Doors, I had to employ somebody to come and explain the movie to me. I'm sure it's a really top-notch movie, and I loved Chioma Chukwuka's performance in that movie. Like, I didn't know she could speak Yoruba. I did not know this. So anyway, I can't say I liked or hated the movie. I'm sure it's a good movie, and from what the person I employed to explain the movie to me said, it's really an interesting movie. But I'm not sure it was worthy of having series. Like, I feel like they should just do full-length movies. Series is just unnecessarily long. Okay, then the next one is Carry On. It's a Christmas movie. Enjoyed it. It had this thriller vibe, and I really liked it. I saw somebody on TikTok that said that all his problems, he wouldn't have gone through all this problem if he had just Kukuma destroyed that earpiece. But well, some people don't used to hear what. Then the next one is The 688. Is a Tyler Perry movie. So The 688 is also is a historical movie. It's based on true life events, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it makes up for all the not so good Tyler Perry movies that I saw this year. I really liked it, and it was also educational. I never knew about The 688. I really liked the movie, and the performance of all those beautiful, amazing women in that movie was just mind-blowing. I just love being a woman. Then the next one is, I watched Titanic, The Great Love Story. I'm the one that did The Great Love Story. Like, I really liked it. Like, it's so beautiful. Yeah, I don't think they make romance movies like it anymore. Then the next one I saw is a YouTube movie. It's Last Straw, with Bimbo Ademoye and Timini. It was okay. Then I liked Last Holiday. It's a Christmas movie. It talks about, it's kind of a reminder of what life is meant for, to be lived and enjoyed, not endured. So yeah. Then okay, so I watched The Lonely Planet, or Lonely Planet, and I had this people were talking about how the guy was not a likable character, but in my own point of view, I kind of sympathized with him. So his girlfriend wrote this book, and she was already getting like traction, she was becoming popular and all of that, and then she went to a writers forum. So this guy that she's dating is a guy that does not read novels. He's not a writer. I think he's into business or something like that, like he's an accountant or something like that. I can't remember his profession, but he does not read and he does not write. He's now making it look like he's an illiterate. No. So yes. So imagine that. Imagine me. I'm invited to a program that I don't have the slightest interest in. And somebody is making me, as in when I get to that gathering, everybody there was just having this porcupine behavior. Can you imagine that the girlfriend was saying, oh, she dedicated her work to her boyfriend? She now said it's a lie, that you cannot dedicate, that they don't, those type of dedication is just like for formality, that there is nothing that he contributed to the book. And I'm just like, even if, do you have to say that? Have some emotional intelligence, for God's sake. But no. So after they were treating him, shabbily, he was still comporting himself and behaving himself well. Then there was this game they played one time, and then he didn't get it. But he actually did get it. It's just that in the bookish context, he didn't get it. So the girlfriend kind of cracked a joke that was a bit embarrassing to him. Like, it kind of put him down. And I just felt that, I don't know. That's why I feel like people should date people or associate with people that share the same interests as them. Because when somebody does not share the same interests as you, and you're not it's frustrating trying to force the person to like what you like. So I just kind of felt for the guy. He felt like an outsider in that gathering, and I just felt like the girlfriend should have given him a bit more grace, because he was really trying to be supportive from the lens I was watching it with. So I don't know why he turned out to be the person that they disliked. So yeah, but I'm sure there might be other things that he did, but those particular things were the things that really impressed upon me, and I just thought to talk about it. So yes, I watched The Lonely Planet, and it was an okay movie. I really like movies that make people like think. It's like kind of addresses like real life issues and makes people to argue. Like when we watched, there's this romance movie, not really romance, that people watched where this babe from why do I always call people babe? This lady from this lady from Bridgerton acted, and she was promoted over her boyfriend, and people were just talking about it. And I like movies like that. So the final movie, okay, there are two other movies, but they are series. I've not finished them. I'm still watching them. Is Grey's Anatomy and Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls is really beginning to get on my nerves, and I really wished I wrapped it up last year. So I remember when I first started Gilmore Girls, I went on my Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, I've started the best show ever. And one of my friends one of my friends on Instagram was like, I should relax. That I should come back later and tell her how I feel about it. And I'm now in the part where I'm just so furious with Rory and the mom. And I'm not against parents being friends with their kids. Like, I really love the way my own relationship with my parents has transcended from them not just being my parents, but to being my friends as well, and to being in my corner and all of that. Love it. But what kind of friend are you if you cannot tell the truth to your friend? So it got to the point where this mom can no longer tell her daughter the truth, and it was just so crazy, and I just could not bear it, and I really want to be done with the Gilmore Girls so that I can move on from that series. I don't like to have unfinished series. So yes, then Grey's Anatomy, I just love that show. It's my favorite series of all time. So I love that series, but I think I missed the initial season, like season one, the most. Like, that was when they were still all babies. They were still starting out in their medical career, and I really liked them. I know they've experienced a lot of emotional growth and development throughout the series, and a lot of people have left, either died or just flat out left the show. So I really miss Grey's Anatomy of season one, but I don't know, I'm just kind of addicted to the show, and I'm currently in season 15. So right now it's just all about work and all of that, but yeah, I really like Grey's Anatomy, and I'm really looking forward to when I'll finally be all caught up on the show. So yes, so that is it on all the 80 something movies that I saw in 2024. I had a good time watching movies, at least, even though I didn't read that much last year, but I had a good time watching a lot of movies. I feel like my brain is fried from all the movies that I've watched last year, and I'm taking a rest. But yes, I'm still watching movies nonetheless, but maybe not as much as I did last year. So yeah, those are all the movies that I watched. Please, please, and please comment down below if I mentioned any of your favorites. And then of course, these are all subjective. It's just my opinion. This is not like the Oscars. So yeah, so if you disagree with me on any movie that I mentioned, it's all love from here. If I talked shit about a movie that you really really liked, apologies for that, but it's just my opinion, and I feel like everyone is entitled to one. So just share in the comments below if there are movies that you really liked that I didn't like, and tell me why you liked them. And then if there are movies I mentioned that you liked and I liked, let's connect. So yeah, so please like and subscribe to my channel so that I can be encouraged to put out more videos. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye.